All right, I think we will get started. Welcome, everybody, to our monthly Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs meeting. We are going to start with the guidelines. So give me a minute, please. I get them up. Okay. Good evening. My name is Barbara Stronzer, and I'm the chair of the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Committee. I will put up the committee agenda in a few minutes. On September 2nd, 2021, Governor Kathy Hochul signed into law Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021, which authorizes the community board to run this meeting remotely, and minutes will be taken for record keeping. The minutes will appear on our website within days and can be requested from Bronx CB7 staff at any time. If you are calling into the meeting on conference, the controls from landline or by cell, you must, to hear all the available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6 to mute or unmute yourself, *9 to virtually raise your hand. We will run this meeting as follows. The code of conduct is Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove and/or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban. The amount of time to be objectively determined by the above committee of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-person outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities will be summoned. Everyone beside the speaker or presenter will stay muted throughout the meeting. After each presentation is over, I will inquire if committee members have questions. Committee members will signify that they have a question by pressing the raised hand button on the screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Members of the public who have joined through the online link will be able to ask questions and make a brief statement on the item after each presentation and after the committee has had an opportunity to ask clarifying questions. By pressing the raise hand button on your screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Only those recognized by the chair of the committee will be allowed to speak during the allotted time. We will stay on topic with the agenda items. Any other items will be acknowledged by the chair in new business or addressed at the next meeting, granted there is time and the committee agrees on the topic. Following the questions, discussion, and public comment portion, the committee will begin their discussion after each presentation or agenda item and will conclude with the decision to vote on a recommendation. When the agenda is finished, the meeting will be adjourned. If there are any questions related to meeting software or to our process, please use the chat function or raise hand function now or contact the district manager. Okay. All right, we'll bring that down, stop share. Okay, next item, we will take attendance for the committee. All right. Barbara Stronzer, yes, I'm here. Luis Acosta.
Luis Acosta present.
Okay, thank you, Luis. Tasha Andrews. Tasha. Okay, no. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce present.
Okay, thank you. Ruth Caraballo. Ruth? No. Daisy Perry?
Daisy Perry, present.
Thank you. Okay, and Gwen had notified us that she would not be here tonight. All right, 2, 4, 6. Yes, we have a quorum. All right. Next item, I will put up the minutes from last month's meeting. I have them here someplace. Okay. Okay. All right, the February minutes are up. We spoke about the Marshall Parkway Safety Improvement Project. We had several concerns regarding forestry, which we discussed and are expecting answers to. We talked about snow removal along the parklands. Sarah from the Williamsbridge Oval Rec Center reported on her activities. And there were concerns regarding staffing and the number of PEP officers for this summer. All right, is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
Motion to accept.
Okay, thank you, Betty. Anybody second that?
Second, Daisy.
Oh, thank you, Daisy. Okay. All right, I'll put the agenda up so everybody can take a quick look and then we'll get started. All right. We're going to first talk about the response from forestry. Then some new business we have regarding staffing in the summer, what's happening at the rec center at St. James Park, the status of the budget for parks, and I mean the citywide budget. We have also, if any of the public is here or any of the board members have any park concerns, we have our manager for parks in Board 7 with us tonight, so you can address them. And then we have some information on a program that will be funding New York artists. And we also have some information from Monday night's meeting on the rehabilitation of Poe Park. Okay. So we will be doing that. All right. So let's get started with forestry's response. As you know, this was one of our issues last month, and forestry promised to get back to us. Again, we're back and forth with them. Zev sent us a batch of questions that he rephrased and sent to the person who's responsible for planting trees. And we're waiting for an answer. I would very much like to get a copy of the trees that will be planted, new trees in Board 7 for this spring and fall, but things are very slow with the forestry department. And my feeling is that once we get a new Bronx Parks Commissioner, if we don't get appropriate responses, it'll be time for us as a committee and then the board to send out a letter. Okay, I see a hand up, Betty.
Yeah, who's here from Parks?
Joe Magnieri is here.
He is?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I don't see his name or.
Yeah, he's up, Joe M. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine. Okay.
Okay, all right. All right, good. So that's the follow-up from last month, and we will continue to follow up. All right, next item, new business. What's planned for the spring and summer regarding staffing in our parks? Joe, you're on. Can you tell us anything?
Sure. I see on the agenda, you also brought up the parks budget, right? So,
Yes.
right, we were expecting, I think, what was it, 1%, and then it's
Yes,
it's
yes,
actually the half of a 0.5%. I think that we're still working with.
yes, that's what I'm
So,
hearing.
so last year we had, I don't know why, I don't know if it was like a 1 year thing, but the seasonal plan is not completed yet. So we did all the interviews. I sat in interviews for hours, for days. We completed the interviews, but we don't finalize our seasonal plan until we get from downtown what the budget for the seasonal plan is. So I can't give you like, yeah, we're gonna have 10 extra, people. It didn't get approved yet.
Okay.
But real quick, just a quick update on 7 as of now. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've staffed a supervisor out of Williamsbridge Oval. His name is John Dietz. He's running that side of the district. We put Brian back on the Parkway. So right now we're kind of running the district a little differently than we have in the past. And regarding last summer, so summer's coming. I remember. I think we discussed last year about the grass cutting on the Parkway.
Yes.
So it was kind of taken away from us, out of our hands, and given to the nursery special crew. And I had a very serious conversation with the supervisor of that crew and explained to them that Mashu Parkway did not receive nearly enough attention. We did that walkthrough, Barbara. It was horrible.
Right, that was
I'm
terrible.
not going to mince words here, So I'm looking forward to a better season with grass cutting for sure. And as soon as that budget gets approved, I'll let you know. But it didn't get approved yet.
Okay, are you using the same system for the grass cutting like last year, or is it going to be changed?
So that's all going to depend on this budget. So if there's enough money to hire that amount of people to have a separate crew, then we will. But if we don't, then I don't know. We'll see what happens from there. But it's pretty up in the air right now.
Okay. All right, I see a hand up. Betty, did you want to ask something? Betty? I guess
No, I
not.
just need to bring my hand down.
Oh, okay. I see Chad's hand is up. Chad, go ahead.
Yes, hi, good evening, Barbara. Good evening, Joe. I have a follow-up question from quite a few years back. Amidst the budget cuts, what is the likelihood of us retaining or even gaining additional PEP officers for oversight of the parks? What is that looking like right now, if you're able to predict?
Hey, Chad. Yeah. So naturally, I can't speak for PEP directly. I will tell you this about PEP. PEP has very fluid numbers because, like, they'll have an academy, and we'll say our number goes up to 20 officers. A lot of our PEP officers then move on to NYPD, and then we're back down to a very low number. I think it goes for the same as far as where we're heading is all going to depend on what is approved from downtown for the budget.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Any other questions for Joe? Any of our parks, whatever? All right. So you think by next
Barbara.
month, you'll have a better idea regarding staffing, Joe?
Barbara, I don't want to make any promises. I don't know what's going on.
When do you anticipate getting a new Bronx Parks Commissioner in place?
You'll find out when I find out.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm not even sure if they're really gonna interview for that. That's more of like an appointment. So
Usually it is, yes.
yeah, so we did actually. I think Iris's last day is Friday officially. So we actually did like a little farewell party with her today.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, so I when you find out, I'll find out. That's how it kind of works around here. So.
Okay, all right, we understand, and I'm certainly not happy. I have this on the agenda about the status of the budget. I think everybody knows that Eric Adams campaigned saying that he was going to raise the Parks Department budget citywide from a half percent of the total budget to 1%, which would have been great for the Parks Department and our neighborhoods where we have parks. All of a sudden now, he has submitted a preliminary budget, keeping the amount to a half of 1% citywide and cutting something like $60 million from the parks budget. I know many of the parks advocacy groups are ready to picket City Hall and whatever, and you will hear about that, I'm sure, in the next few weeks. But it's very disappointing to have someone promise that, and it's much needed. I think everybody knows how overused the parks were during the COVID epidemic. And all of a sudden to hear that that funding is not going to come our way. So I'll keep you posted on that, but things do not look good. All right, the next item on the agenda, an update on the recreation center at St. James Park, which was heavily damaged after the fall hurricane. And I understand, Joe, that the rec person was transferred to St. Mary's Park already. Can you give us a little update?
Is Sarah on the call? I feel like Sarah would be able to give a better answer on the rec centers. Sarah, are you there?
Sarah? No, the Sarah that's on is from the Norwood News.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you have any suggestions as to how we can get that person back for the summer? Because certainly St. James Park is in need of a recreation person. I mean, if they can't use an indoor area, I mean, maybe things can be arranged outdoors, or what would you suggest?
Yeah. Do you have any contact with Pharrell Coates, the commissioner of recreation?
No, we don't. But if you give me, you know,
Yeah, let me circle you in with him tomorrow on an email, and then we could get a little chain going with some questions. And
okay. All
I think
right.
I think a lot of it's based off of some of the damage that was done and where they're at in that process. So
Okay, that would be helpful, because that park certainly needs to have the specialist there for the summer. Lori's, you're on. I know you live near the park and you've had a few activities that you've done with cleanups and all there. Have you noticed anything of late, or if you pass by, could you maybe stop in and see what they would tell you?
Hi, Barbara. Sure,
Hi.
I'll check it out. I've I live in the area, so I know that they have the whole construction going on, but I haven't been able to see like any activity inside the actual recreation center. But I'll check it out, and if you can
Yeah.
keep me in the loop with what you guys hear, I'd appreciate that as well.
Great, because maybe you can ask when the indoor part will be ready, and if they plan, if it's not ready for this spring and summer, if they plan to bring the rec person back, because that's important.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll follow up with you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Chad, is your hand up for another question, or did you forget to bring it down?
Yeah, my hand is up regarding the vote, but I'm not certain if you're there yet.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get there soon enough. All right.
All right, I'll wait then.
Okay, it's the next item. Members and public park maintenance concerns. So you want to give us your concern for DeVoe? Go ahead.
So I know I've shared with the committee about the importance of repitching the drains and redoing the sidewalks and resetting the curbs. And I'm just concerned if there's a timeline where that's going to happen. I know we have this as one of our items for the capital and expense needs.
Mhm.
I actually ran into Mr. Johnson, what was it, last week? I ran into him by accident and I asked him about the progress. One of the things that he mentioned, what he suggested was to reintroduce that concern on the community board level and also with the council member of our district, which in this case would be Parina Sanchez.
Yes, my suggestion would be for you and anybody else who uses DeVoe, I mean, even if you went alone, it would be good to set up an appointment with Councilperson Sanchez and let her know what the needs are there, because the only way the parks will be able to do all that work is if she appropriates so much funding. So again, that would be the best route to go.
Right now, would you recommend I do that sooner, right before we get a replacement for the commissioner?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Set it up, because I'm sure we'll get a replacement commissioner within the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most. And definitely, and if, there's anybody from the Friends of DeVoe or whatever who would be willing to go with you, that's great. And sit down with her and even offer to take her on a walk in the park so she can see what you're talking about. She's new, and I'm sure she realizes the importance of the park in your area.
Got you.
Okay, all right,
Okay,
we have
will do.
2 other hands up. First, Sirio, and then we'll go to Toby. Go ahead, Sirio.
Good evening. How you doing, Joe? One question. The retaining wall on Jerome Avenue, is that being maintained by the Parks Department? Because I remember last year you guys removed the graffiti.
That has officially been handed over to DOT.
Oh, God almighty, I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
Now.
that's DOT. Yeah, we
Joe, we're gonna miss you very much.
it's a lot of wall, and I don't have a lot of hands to paint it, so.
It is from one strip of the street to the other, graffiti scarred unbelievably. But I thank you for the work you did the last time. The other thing, of course, is really more towards about forestry. In my opinion, I think forestry is just putting on delay after delay and ducking the issues. And then they're going to come up with the thing that the budget has been cut and they're not going to have the funds to do everything. So maybe we should really step forward and try to do something more quickly instead of waiting for their reply.
Sirio, I think as soon as we get a new Bronx Parks Commissioner, we should invite her to one of our meetings. And this is certainly an item that we can discuss with her or him. Because it's very hard now to send a letter or anything. I know Iris is leaving, as Joe said, by Friday. And if there's nobody in the position, it doesn't help. So as soon as we get somebody, I definitely will invite her or him to one of these meetings and we can address the issue.
It may be because dealing with in the past, how well Iris helped us out with the trees. It seemed like it was almost above her head, that you may have to go above the borough commissioner to the city commissioner.
Okay, we certainly will if we don't get any place with the borough
I'm
commissioner.
only saying that, in fact, that our track record before with the commissioner's help, because Iris was really there with us all the time. God bless her for that. That I think it may have to come from a higher person, because even it's already 3 months into the year and we don't have a commissioner. And, I think it has to come from above, because forestry didn't listen to her.
Okay.
Sorry to say. And she was a commissioner, but thank you for the time.
Okay, we'll see. All right, Toby, you're on.
Hi, so I wanted everyone to know a couple of things about Friends of DeVoe Park and
Okay.
about DeVoe Park. One, Padina Sanchez is familiar with DeVoe Park. She has helped us with quite a few of our activities in Friends of DeVoe Park. Two, Karina Sanchez in District 14 will be participating in the participatory budgeting. And that means that District 14 is going to receive $1 million to use in various things. And one of the things that I submitted is related to DeVoe Park. I submitted a PowerPoint requesting trees, requesting benches, requesting exercise fitness equipment in the park. What I can do is adapt the RFP and add some of the items that the gentleman was talking about. It's $1 million. It's a $1 million pot to be dispersed throughout different what's the word I'm looking for? Different opportunities for the community to build upon the existing infrastructure. So I wanted to let everyone know that the team, her participatory budgeting delegate team, has already resubmitted some of the RFPs.
Okay,
So,
Toby, I
okay.
think you should go ahead of what you're doing, but I think what Chad is referring to would require a lot more than $1 million. So
Okay,
the million
understand.
that she has for the district of this participatory budgeting usually works is that she takes all these requests and each group gets something. So that would be, good to ask for things, but I think Chad should let her know that it needs some major rehab work.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
and
And
maybe Chad and you would want to get together and go to see her, but I think it's time that somebody does that, and you do it early enough in her tenure that she doesn't forget where the money should go.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Barbara.
Thank you for the advice.
Okay, do I have
Oh.
another hand up?
Barbara,
Yes.
I just want to make a quick comment, and Toby, I want to thank you for mentioning that. Just want a quick piece of info. The last time that DeVoe had a capital improvement project done was around 2008. So when the 10-year mark came around, I had done a previous walkthrough with Mr. Johnson, who was the manager of that park, and when we uncovered the fact that the sidewalk and the drainage has been a problem, we had since advocated for that to be done in the capital and expense need. Just so you know, but I'll be more than happy to explain offline more of what the request involves. So I'll throw my email in the chat and we can just start from there.
Okay, that would be good.
Yeah.
All right, do we
Thank
have
you,
any?
Toby. Thank you, Barbara.
Okay, do we have any other requests or issues that you would like to raise for Joe? Joe, I just want to tell you that Marshall Parkway, my end anyway, is looking great. And I understand the workers need a few more plastic bags. So if you could get some black bags and get them over there, it would be helpful. They've had to deal with a homeless individual, the same one that was, on Webster and then moved to the monument and whatever. He's still out there. And now he has 2 full shopping carts. And I'm sure, that they have quite a bit to pick up.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be great if you could do that, but they really are doing a nice job.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Okay, we'll move on then.
Barbara, I have a.
Yes, oh, go ahead, Betty.
Frishfield, any update on Frishfield?
Good question.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the capital tracker says. I mean, that's public information. You could look that up.
Okay,
You could look that up right now and see
All right,
exactly.
I'm assuming that the teams will be able to use it this summer? Because I don't think it's that close.
I mean, I don't think it's that close.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah, no.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you for bringing that up, Betty. All right, anything else before we move on? All right. We received a notice, since we also cover cultural affairs, about funding for needy artists. I'll see if I have the information here. Yes, give you some information on that. Okay, the group is called Creatives Rebuild New York. And they have quite a bit of money that they would be willing to share with artists. Participating artists will receive a salary of $65,000. Of course, it depends on their household income too. All right. And there are quite a few stipulations, but one can apply for this funding up until March 25th. So on the agenda, it is highlighted. If you know of any artist who is looking for funding, you certainly can share this with the person.
Barbara,
Yes.
I think that would be a great opportunity for some of our parks groups to possibly work with some of the artists, like what Friends of Mashalou have worked with, that their artists that has helped beautify
The gal that does the
the murals and what
yes,
have you.
mural, right. Yeah.
We've often talked about doing something at the Reservoir Oval, finding some place to do some artwork there. There was someone who was interested in doing some artwork. So this is a good opportunity, and some of the other parks groups may want to consider looking at something like that with some local artists to do some.
Okay, the artist that did the work around PSA Playground and all, I do have her information, contact info, so I think I will send it to her, so she can take a look at
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we have a hand up there. AJ, you have a question?
Yes, that application, there's a second one. It's for universal basic income. It's $1,000 a month, no strings attached. The one you showed is for like a salary position.
Yes.
And also Lady K is from Canada. She's not from the Bronx. If anybody gets the walls in the parks, it should be the local kids.
Lady K lives in the Bronx, AJ.
Yeah.
And she may be from Canada, but she lives in the Bronx.
Okay.
So do the kids that use the parks as well. We have no arts in the schools. Everything's been defunded. If the kids want to paint on the walls, they should be given priority.
Okay, but I don't think the grant is set up that way. It has to go to an artist.
Yes, there's two applications. You only showed the
Okay,
first
I'll
one.
take a look at the other one then. Thank you. All right. We had a meeting on Monday night. It was sponsored by the Parks Department. Do we have a question? No. All right, we had a meeting Monday night, which the Parks Department sponsored, relating to the rehabilitation of Poe Park. I have some information on that I would like to share with you, so please hold on 1 minute.
This towel's behind the door, this towel's there.
I thought I had some information.
Towel's behind the door. You can put clothes in here.
Somebody
Somebody is
mute.
not
Please
muted.
mute.
Most of my clothes are shorts and t-shirts.
Okay.
Tasha,
Well,
can
my-
you mute? I think it's Tasha. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. See if I can get the right. I'm having trouble getting it up. Oh. Okay. Now I have it. Hang on 1 minute, I'm coming. Okay, this is the Poe Park Plaza reconstruction. I'll go through it quickly. Ruth, if there's anything I leave out that you want to add, I know you were at the meeting also. All right. They first gave us the timeline for new projects, which basically amounts to from the start to 3 years to complete the project, which is much better than what it used to be. It used to be 5 or 6 years. All right. Our partnership for parks person is Linda Bonilla. And if anybody has any suggestions for Poe Park, you can email her. Her information will be at the end of this. All right. These are a few of the pictures of what Poe Park looks like now. They have $3 million, which they are getting from Councilperson Feliz. And it's from the tone of the meeting, it sounds like a lot of the cement work around the band shell will be taken care of. Okay, this is a map of the various parks in that area. All right, there again is the outlined area for Poe Park, the site. This is a map of Poe Park itself. And all right, these are some of the areas that they would like to address. The pavement is very cracked. They talked about possibly getting new pavement. It's the area around the band shell is often used for different types of dancing and exhibits and exercise classes. All right. This area right here around the drinking fountain also needs quite a bit of work. And you can see right here also that the sidewalk is not in good shape. All right, these trees were recently planted, and my suggestion was to put some colorful flowers or shrubs there to brighten up the park and all. And they have a few considerations that they're looking at from other parks, and this will give you some examples. We certainly could use some new benches, heat mitigation, more trees. Okay, there's a problem with storm water, as you can see from the diagrams. And here is the tree preservation and the plantings, which are lovely. Accessibility for the playground area. And of course, welcoming entrances. I think they can do quite a bit with the entrances to Poe Park. Here's some ideas of what they've done in other parks. I like the cement work that they did there. Green spaces. Seating arrangements and the plantings around the trees. Okay. All right, and if you would like to send some comments or ideas to parks, Linda Bonilla's phone number is 718-430-1861. She will take them. Okay. Ruth, do you want to add anything? You were there at the presentation.
No, like I said in the meeting, I'm looking forward to move past just having these conversations and seeing actual work come to fruition. It's been a long time coming, and I just want to, at the very least, keep pushing so that this happens sooner rather than later. That's my only real concern.
Right. There were quite a few community people at the meeting, as well as some of the groups that have organized activities at Poe Park, and they gave some very good suggestions. What will happen now, after they get all these ideas together, they will come to Community Board 7 with some preliminary plans. So, certainly the community will be invited, and our committee will be there to look at those plans, but it's something that's needed. I mean, the park needs to be spruced up, and I'm glad that they are deciding to do something with it. Any other questions about Poe Park? Okay. All right. Any other issues that anybody would like to bring up? Next month, I would like to add one issue to the agenda, and that is, recently I was driving along Jerome Avenue close to the end of the number 4 line, and I noticed, excuse me, the golf house that was supposed to be created many moons ago is still not there. There's a construction fence around the area, and I would like to try to bring somebody in with some knowledge of the status of that particular construction piece. So that's one item I would like to add. Hopefully, we will have a new Bronx Parks Commissioner by our April meeting. Certainly, maybe Joe will have a better idea of summer staffing and how they're going to arrange that, and how the grass will be cut, whether they will have their own crew or if it'll be done like it was last year. Any other issues you would like to have addressed next month? Anybody? And Lori's will have a report on what he could find out at St. James Park. And I know Joe is going to give me the name of somebody who's in charge of rec who may be able to give us some information.
Hey, Barbara, this is
Oh,
Sarah.
Sarah's on. Okay, good, Sarah.
Yeah, sorry, I
Do
got
you
a-
have an announcement for all your activities at the Oval? Sarah is in charge of recreation at Williamsbridge Oval, and I know you sent me that email. I wrote everything down, but I'm glad you're here to present. Go ahead.
Yes, I'll say quick with St. James Rec Center, what I know just from in general, because they had the flooding from that, I guess, hurricane storm back in the fall.
Yes.
So it flooded like the whole basement. So boilers, stuff like that, like big work needs to be done. So that's why they don't have a date to reopen now.
Okay, but we're going to try to find out if they
Got
can
it.
bring the rec person back and at least have some outdoor
Oh, some
activities.
outdoor programming. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
they
good idea.
definitely need that. So we
Definitely.
will push for that. Okay, let us know what's happening at the Oval.
So for us now, as everyone knows, the vaccine mandate was lifted. So everyone is welcome to come to the rec center. And right now they made young adults free. So everyone 24 and younger is free. So they just have to show proof of ID, and then they get a key tag membership card. We started we have our continuous fitness classes Monday through Friday at 10 in the morning. We have everything from like yoga. We have Zumba now. We have circuit training. And we also, again, always pushing activities for the kids that we have Monday through Friday between 3 and 6. With not having the vaccine mandate, it makes it a lot easier for families. And we're looking ahead. At the end of the month, March 25th, we have a Friday night art. So that's geared towards adults, but kids are welcome to come to attend. And we are looking ahead for our spring egg hunt, which is Saturday, April 16th, and from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm welcoming already Community Board 7. They said they'd like to be a part of it. We're very grateful for. And some other local organizations, and including like Senator Bailey's office. So we're looking forward to that. And any other activities people are looking to partner with, just let me know.
Okay, Sarah, if there are other groups that would like to set up a table, do they have to get permission, or how is that going to work?
Yeah, let me know so I can know in advance, because, just to make sure we have enough tables and stuff like that.
Okay.
So if you want to just email me, I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay, very
Or if they
good.
search Williamsbridge Oval Rec Center, you'll find it.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, any other questions before we close? All right, can we have a motion to?
Barbara,
Yes, somebody, go
yeah,
ahead.
you
Go ahead,
mentioned
Chad.
for the next meeting for next week, right? For next month, right?
Yes,
Remember I mentioned about Bailey Avenue? There's a lot that had been dumped, and there were 311 calls that I've made, and that was supposed to be cleaned out. So they've made an attempt to do so, but it still has not been done. So I would like to see if we could get a follow-up for the next month. This is the one near 2455 Cedric Avenue, the empty lot, which is grassland and is covered by gates.
okay, now, Chad, is that Parks Department property?
I believe it is. I
And
believe it is.
is it opposite 2455 or that's the address?
It's
of the lot?
adjacent to it.
Adjacent,
It's adjacent to it, because the whole area is grassland, dirt, and trees surrounded by gates.
Yeah, I think the last time we discussed this, I think we confirmed that it was parks.
Parks,
It's
okay,
owned by, or
Right.
owned by the city, let me put it that way.
okay.
Yeah,
Joey,
it might be owned by the city, but it's not a definite. I have to look at the map. I have to check it out, but it's a possibility it's ours, but it's also a possibility it's not, so
Okay.
I have to really give it a look.
okay, Joe, you'll check that out for us for the next meeting, please?
Sure.
This
sure.
way we'll know what agency to contact and all. Okay, thank you, Chad. All right, anything else that anybody would like to bring up before we close? Do we have a motion to close the meeting? I thank everybody for joining us.
Motion to close?
All right, is that seconded?
I second Ruth.
Okay, thank you, Ruth. All right, all in favor? Aye. Okay, good.
Aye.
Good. Good night, everybody, and hopefully we'll have a new Bronx Parks Commissioner by next month. And thank you for
Good
Good
joining.
night.
Good night,
Good
Bob.
night now. Thank you, Joe, again.
Night all.
Good
Night,
night.
everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night.